Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, people, wherever you're watching from. Welcome. Welcome back to BBK Sports. Yes, it's dead international break settings. And, I hate to be the bearer of bad news or bad reminders, but in a month's time, we got to do this again. Yeah. Uncle Wenger was supposed to fix this. Uncle Wenger was supposed to fix it and make it a international window where all the qualification games are played and the domestic campaigns will go undisturbed. And if you went into this international break on a loss or on a downer, it's even longer. Should be much easier for Arsenal fans this time around because, we went in on a high, sitting on top of the table, looking down at the peasants. The top feels much, much better than down there, but we still are dreading the international break. The international fixtures mixed with a bunch of friendlies. Some of them have meaning, but let's be honest, we're not feeling this. We don't like it. But there is still news and notes to be discussed amid the dead football that's being played at the international level. Big up to man like Lynch, the absolute legend of a man. Those Mariners, yeah, big up VVK Sports. We got our gunners back this weekend. Facts. Yeah, the Mariners, yeah, so last night I was out. I was out and about, just having a relaxing moment. And then, didn't even know the Mariners game was on. Everyone started clapping. And I just realized, yeah, the Mariners, I got their first ALCS win since 2001 against my New York Yankees. It's I don't have any vendetta or anything, any grudge against the Mariners. They're the local team. People who I love them. So it's kind of like, yeah, Mariners are cool. Big up to them. I hope they win it. The Yankees are in it, so I hope they win it. They could have a nice little parade here. I might even go to it. Big up to Nems, the Unks raid. Big up to Unks. Alvin giving some more daps going around. Yep. My bro Waffle Don say, hurry up now. Ah man, big up, man. Big up to my bro. BBK doing the bogle intro. My back can't take all them young people dances no more. 8 international break. The hatred is real. Hate is a strong term. Uh, you are keeping it warm for us. Hey, someone has to do it. So do we rate Liverpool to handle injuries? They can't. You know how we say that there is a season of no excuses, and that's specifically we're talking about Arsenal. Liverpool is in that conversation. They can't talk about injuries. They can't talk about anything else. The season of no excuses applies to them as well as it applies to us because they went into the window as Premier League champions and got everything they wanted. 8 out of 10 transfer window. Some of them said it was a 10 out of 10. How many Liverpool fans told you that? If we get Isak, it's a 10 out of 10 window. Right? Whatever situation they find themselves in, they chose that. We didn't get another defender. Hey, you chose not to do that. You chose to put all your money into attacking players. So how do we rate them for handling their injuries? Can't use it as an excuse. That's the bottom line when it comes to them, man. Because we couldn't use it last year when we ended up with Mikel Moreno up front. So people will try to rewrite the narrative now and try to paint the Mikel Moreno move to play him as striker up front as if it was some kind of tactical move or stroke of genius. No, it was an emergency move. We had nobody else. Injuries down to our bare bones. That's how we ended up there. Yep. That's how we ended up front. So we had to deal with injuries. They have to deal with it. Big up to AJ. What you saying, AJ? Hope you're good. Hope you are good, my friend. I know you're looking forward to the Euros 2028. I'll be definitely making that trip. Check out a few of those games. Big up to Sheldon. Manners and respect. Say big up, gang. Say AJ, you're large and in charge. You don't support Liverpool just like you don't support Arsenal. I'll tell you, Nems is a chameleon. Wherever which direction the wind blows, that's where Nems is gonna be next week. If Chelsea put a 5-game runs together, we'll have NEM CFC in the chat. Big up to AJ. Say, make sure you hit the likes, people. I really dislike the international break. Yeah, strong term. Haters. What do you think of Tony's chest about winning the league the other day? Karma. The chest doesn't have as much vim because it's us. We're the October champions. We have seen ourselves fall short 3 straight times under this manager, under this regime. We have seen ourselves fall short many, many other times under Uncle Wenger. The 2016 title was supposed to be ours. So we've seen this before. We've seen this chess before. I do admit there are more rivals telling me, I don't feel this way, but there are more rivals telling me that this one feels different than the previous other Arsenal sitting at the top of the table earlier on in the season. I'm not going to lie. Quite a few rivals are saying that. Something about this Arsenal feels different. And that's because the squad is really deep. That's because we have a situation now where we see Odegaard, who's gotten injured, and no one is batting an eye. We see Saka go down earlier in the season, miss a chunk of games, and no one really batted an eye. We've seen Saliba roll his ankle at Anfield and couldn't play, and no one was panicking. We see who else? Madueke go down, and no one is really flipping out because we have cover there. So I think the squad depth, and part of it also is like people are thinking like, surely the failed experiences of coming up short so many times have to mean something. And also, they're looking at Man City and they're seeing like, you know what? The Rodri thing is real. I believe that Rodri injury is massive. In years past, whenever Saka went down, and every Arsenal fan was like, oh, shit, heart in our mouth. We can't win without the star boy. We can't win any games without the star boy. Because that's how important he was to us when we were in the rut. I believe Rodri is that guy. And if he doesn't, they go as he goes. I don't care how many goals Erling Haaland score. Erling Haaland can win the Golden Boot. It won't matter. It'll be an inconsequential individual award. Kind of like David Raya winning the Golden Glove 2 years in a row behind the best defense. It won't mean anything because Rodri will not be able to stop other teams from scoring. So I really, they look at City, they look at us, they look at Liverpool and see Liverpool living on the line, living dangerously. Like Barrington Levy said, living very dangerously, and that dangerous caught up to them. And now they're 0 for 3 and possibly run the risk of total humiliation after international break if they drop points at home to Man United. I don't think that Liverpool fans will give up on the title race should they drop points in that game. I think they will more be embarrassed than they will be hurt. They'll be so embarrassed that they dropped points to that bunch that it might have a ripple effect throughout the football world and throughout the squad. Because they have yet to play City and yet to play what are the top 6 teams. They have some tough fixtures, not gonna lie. But as far as the chess for Tony goes, that's Tony being Tony, isn't it? That's what Tony does. Tony likes to be a contrarian. Tony likes to be different. Tony likes to be argumentative, so to speak. Tony likes to be a conscientious objector. If the masses is saying one thing, or if he's on a panel and 5 people are saying this, even though it's true, he will look for something to make himself feel different. Tony would have chest if it was Manchester United situation. Let's be honest. Yeah, that's what. Tony is the guy that finds the silver lining in every cloud. He is a let me see how I can put this. Even though he's not a top gooner, he is Arteta out. He is the most positive, negative fan you can find, if that makes any sense. Um, Slow buzz running their front line. I think he's been one of their better players this year. I think him, Allison, Virgil before the twerk have actually been good. TK has been good as well. Because it seems like that's what's happened to Virgil. You know, there's two Virgils. You know, like there's BC, right? There's before Christ and there's AD in the year of our Lord. That meme that Caicedo has made of Van Dijk is you have before the twerk and after the twerk. BT, BTVD. Because after this, imagine the people who are just coming into football right now, just coming into the Prem. And that's the first image that they have of what is supposedly the best defender in the Premier League, best center back in the world. And they have an image of him twerking a Cardi B song. Big up to man like Yaga P in the building. Hope you're enjoying your day off, bro. Yes, people, it is a day off. It is a holiday here in these United States. It is Columbus Day, the day that the United States celebrates Christopher Columbus discovering the new world that people were already occupying. Imagine that. On serious question, have we had any injuries yet this break? No. I've actually watched the minutes. I see some of the games and I look at the minutes. I don't care about the performance. I don't care how Calafiore is performing for Italy. He played a full 90 the other day. I'm pleased with Saka scoring a goal against who England played the other day. Whoever they played. That's how much I cared. Saka scored a goal. Thomas Tuchel said that's enough, gave someone else a run out. I think it was Jared Bowen. I think Gabriel played a full 90 for Brazil. No injuries reported there. I see Timber play an hour for the Dutch. Gets taken off. It seems like the international managers are realizing what's going on. Even this morning, I read a report. The Norwegian manager sent Erling Haaland home to rest because the next game that they have is a international friendly. Now, that's a dope manager. Right? Now, him and Pep probably have a good relationship now. Now they look out for each other. Hey, my guy came, he scored, set a record 50th goal, blah, blah, blah. The next game is a meaningless friendly. Just send him home. Quite a few international managers aren't doing that, but they did. So Arteta needs to foster those relationships with these international managers so they can take care of our boys. Send them back to us in top-notch shape, the same way we sent them to you. Plastic, that light, go where the wind blows. Yeah, man, it's a chameleon. This color, that color. Big up to DA. Big up to you, brother. Manners and respect. They shitting themselves. Well, hey, they got a turtle head. That's what they call it, the turtle head. About to shit themselves. Nervy, squeaky bum. As they makes us that much better. Yeah. So big up to Cape from Cape Hotspurs. Cape did a reaction video. Not a reaction video, like a halfway point when he's ranking the signings the Arsenal have made this summer. He ranked all six or seven players, how many players that we signed. Mascara, Norgard, all of that. But the top two players that he had was Eze in second, Zubimendi in first. And I mean, that's his ranking, that's his opinion, fair play. But I like the debate with KP. So I asked him, hey, Zubimendi over Eze, yeah? And he's like, Zubi just edges it for me. I do believe that's part that the volley goal that he scored against Forest. I think that's what highlight reel, prisoner of the moment. Eze hasn't had that big moment yet as an Arsenal player in the Premier League. Even though I think his assist versus Man City for the equalizer was sublime, but we didn't win the game. Not his fault. He didn't start. But I think Eze was our best signing because, one, you may know how I feel about the Everich, right? I think he's our best player, best creative player, and I think he's the best creative 10 in the league. I think he starts for every team. I tell man, every stream that I go on, big up to Rashid from Arsenal Revolution TV. He pushes back and like, you think Eze starts for every team? Yes. Said emphatic yes. You said, does he start for City? You goddamn right he starts for City. You switch Eze with Foden. Foden can't lead his team to win an FA Cup. What are we doing? Does he start for Liverpool? You having a laugh. Mr. 009. Eze is coming off the bench facing low blocks and unlocking teams. Man, it's 009. Could be 0010 on Sunday. Yes, he starts for Liverpool. Even Liverpool fans come in here and tell me that Eze starts for them. And then the kicker, the big one. Oh, does Eze start for Chelsea? You goddamn right he starts for Chelsea. If Chelsea signed Eze today, Cole Palmer becomes their right winger. I rate Cole Palmer. I think Cole Palmer is fantastic. I think he's brilliant. But if they sign Eze tomorrow, Cole Palmer, he's moving out that 10 spot and he's going to the right wing. Not because I think Cole Palmer is bad. I just think Eze in the 10, Cole Palmer right wing, you have the best versus Cole Palmer staying in the 10 and Eze goes left wing. Yeah. Now you put Eze in that 10, Cole Palmer on the right wing, Pedro Neto on the left, and João Pedro up front. That attack right there would kill. Woo shit. That's a Premier League winning team right there. That's how much I rate Eze. So what I told KP was Eze, the fear factor that he has when he lands up in the middle of the park, people don't look at Zubameni that way. So that's why I think he's our best signing of the summer. And he does make us that much better. Big up to Lynch for that comment. I give the Arsenal talk and chat a rest during these international break. LOL, just saying what's good. Big up to BX Gunner. Yeah, man, it's cool, man. This football legends could be a general football chat. I'm just here vibing with the chat still because, like I said, every day I talk to you, man, and women, because Miss Melina and Dana pops in here sometimes. Sabby Pinky. I learned something. I learned something every day from you lot. So big up to you all every single time. City gonna miss Rodri. Facts, bro. They're gonna miss him, especially in those big games when Erling Haaland has to go up against another big physical center back like a Gabriel, or a Van Dijk. Van Dijk before the twerk. Something I really don't understand. I really don't. 450 million pounds for 10,000 seats in the report stuff. Is that even worth it in the long run? So it's a point of contention, but I'm sure they have done the math on that. I'm sure they have sat down with their accountants and they've done their projections, right? These business people, they do their projections, cost analysis, future return, future gain. And no bank, Barclays, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Lehman Brothers, no bank is signing off on that kind of expenditure without serious ROI. Because let's be clear, people, this 450 million pounds is not coming out of Kroenke's pocket. That's going to be debt. That's going to be borrowed money used to make them more money. The Kroenkes have a whole lot of assets that they can borrow that money against. So, the Emirates, the Arsenal conglomerate, the business that is Arsenal is put up as collateral so they can borrow that money at, hence very, very attractive interest rates, if any. And, those seats projected to be sold, quite a few of them, the corporate sponsors and that. Bigger stadium, 70,000 seater, renovated, gutted inside out, repaint. And they can charge you. Moving out of the Emirates, going to Wembley, coming back to the Emirates, it will feel like a brand new stadium. Fresh paint job, padded seats with smartphone chargers and all kind of shit. They're going to make that stadium so good that they're going to be able to charge more for it. So complete renovation, complete facelift. 70,000 seater. They could even go for new naming rights. Latvian Gunnar and I were discussing this yesterday. They could go for new naming rights, and then it won't be the Emirates anymore. It will be Qantas, or some other Middle Eastern airline, some other big company. It could be the Amazon Arena. Jeff Bezos put his name on that motherfucker. Boom, giving you 200 million pounds to name your stadium after my company. Not like Amazon needs, the promo. but you know how these things work. Big up to the assembles. Large up yourself, everyone. Big up. Gabrielle are in Capai to start the weekend. Gabby, plenty of traveling. Yeah. It's a great question. I think it's going to be Gabrielle. Um, Gabrielle is coasting. He's not really. He's playing 90 minutes, but it's a coasting 90 minutes because Brazil is already qualified. Brazil has already qualified for the tournament, people. Brazil, Ecuador, and Colombia. I think the teams from CONMEBOL that's all qualified already. So Gabrielle is not there making lung busting dashes in that. If Nkapie wasn't injured going into the international break, I think he would feature. But I think it might be a little too soon for Nkapie to start. So yeah, it'll probably be Big Gabby. Saliba might get a rest because he's playing heavy minutes for France and they haven't qualified as yet. So yeah, it's probably going to be Gabrielle and Bosquera. AJ get bigging up the assembled. Van Booty. Sabozla has been good. Yes, he has. He has been good. Big up to Vigilante, my gentleman's jack partner. Big up to you, sir. Tell us that you are good. They be saying we have a strip joint when he retired from football. Yeah, VVD go open up a strip club called Rump Shakers. Downtown Amsterdam, owned by the Virgil, made in Ecuador by Kai Sado, called Rump Shakers. And that will be, the meme plastered across there. Big up to the assembled, bigging up everyone, bro. Big up, man. The assembled, absolute legend of a man. Big up to Darren, manners and respect every single time, G. Hope you say you're good. AFTV reported that Saka has an injury, not too sure how accurate that is. At this point, we just have to assume that Saka is injured from match week 1 through match week 38. Yeah? Yeah, there's no such thing as full fitness for Bukayo Saka. Can he walk? That injury that he has, can he walk? If the answer is yes, he plays. I think the medical staff and the manager has made the bar for him to play very, very low. Can he walk? The bar is down here. Yeah. Now the bar for Ethan to get minutes is up. It's off the screen. You can't even find it. But the bar for Saka to play is under the table. Can he walk? Oh yeah, he's playing. The bar for Ethan to play. Are we at the Emirates? Is Odegaard injured? Is the game close? Is Zubamendi on the pitch? Is Moreno available? Where's Eze playing? Is Martinelli out wide? All those boxes has to be checked before Ethan can touch pitch. But Saka, yeah, if he can walk, he plays. In my opinion, Tony has one stance that he debates his point from another point of view. He's very good at that. I wouldn't be shocked if over the course of knowing Tony Claude, and we talk and we learn more about the Tony, that we find out that Tony was on the debate team when he was in high school or middle school, or all age school. I know the school systems are different around the world, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tony was a debater, because on debate teams, it's not about truth, and it's not about being right or wrong. It's about arguing your point. And if you argue correctly in quotation marks, you're never wrong. So I get quite a bit of that from Tony. He's a very strong debater where he doesn't move the goalposts per se, but he shifts it. He'll shift it around on you, and his responses can be so damn long-winded. Then you have the got you question, you have the got you point, but you just be like, nah, because he's gonna go on another rigmarole, and I'm just can't be bothered. Big up to AJ, man, dropping the link for Vigilante. Big up to every single one of you who have hit the like button here already. Some more dappings going on. I'm here for it. Yes, sir. Waffle Don said, "I want Eze to score over the next 3 games." Yeah, I'm not even bothered about Eze scoring goals. To be fair, because he's here to create chances. He's a creator. He's gonna get his goals, but I want him playing GYKORES through. As Eze, he's one of those guys that he's never had great numbers, assist wise, GA wise. But you look at his style of play. He has the. If there was a stat for pre-assist, the pass that broke the line. Okay, because you see Kevin De Bruyne would do this a lot. Ozil would do this a lot. Santi Cazorla used to do this a lot. They would make a line, even Fabregas. They would make a line-breaking pass that was so good it would take out 3-4 defenders, and the fullback or the winger would find themselves in such a good space they would cross the ball or the diagonal cutback for the striker for a tap in. And the winger, the fullback, whoever made that diagonal cutback or the cross gets credited with the assist. But the pass that took 4 or 5 people out doesn't show up on the stat sheet. You know what I'm saying? That's what Eze is kind of on, and I'm here for it. It's coming home this summer. Rashi, Kane, Saka, Eze, Palmer, Foden, Jude. Lynch? Foden and Jude. Well, Jude. I think Jude has had some moments, but Foden typically doesn't play well at the international level. Rashi is hot and cold. Kane is Kane. Saka, star boy. Eze and Palmer have been good. But Foden hasn't really played well at the international level, and that remains to be seen. I am gonna check out the England fixture, at the World Cup, wherever they play. I will be driving or flying to it. Eze is definitely a true MP card, yeah, bro. Eze is there. I can't tell you how angry I was when we let that transfer get to the point where I'm reading he's agreed to personal terms with Spurs. I almost threw up in my mouth. But all the anger turned into complete elation when he signed. But the Gunners, can Eze lead us to winning against Fulham and Palace? You damn right he can. You damn right he can, bro. We're beating Palace, bro. We're beating Crystal Palace. We've had trouble. We have had trouble with Crystal Palace over the past year or so because they had him. We have him now. There is not a world where we are gonna take your best player and then you beat us. No. We're gonna leave that to Man United and Brentford, right? That's what Brentford did to Man United. They say, here's our best player in Mbuemo. Here is our 20 goal a season scorer. You can have him. Not only do we not have him, we lost our second 20 goal a season scorer to Newcastle. We lost our captain to Arsenal. And we lost our coach to Tottenham. Right? So they lost. That's 4 key players, 4 key personnel, 3 players, 1 coach. And still put 3 goals past you comfortably at the GTEC Stadium. So we take your best player, we're gonna beat you. So when Palace turn up at the Emirates, I fully expect us to win as good as they've been. I don't know. If Eze plays, I have to put that if in there. But Fulham, yeah, we have to correct that wrong that we did there last year. Not losing. It felt like a loss. That 1-1 draw. That's when the title was pretty much done, and it was December 7th or December 8th. I think that's the weekend Liverpool didn't even play. And the game they had suspended or postponed due to weather with Everton. And we went there and dropped points. It's like, yeah, these boys aren't ready. Couldn't blame that one on the injury. We had enough that day on the day that day to beat Fulham, and we didn't. Bring back Ronaldinho, Shaka hand celebration back. Yeah, man. Yeah, need some fun back in this sport. And speaking of celebration, being Gunner, this is why I kind of want GYKORES to score from open play. I don't want him to score charity pins and that from Saka. No. I want him to score so he can do his mass celebration. because I actually rate the celebration. You know how it is. It's got to be frustrating for him to have the coldest celebration in all of football, and you're not scoring. Bro, it's bad. I love it. I love it. It's a badass. Because at this day and age, for you to have an original celebration is difficult, isn't it? Because all of them have been taken. The knee slide. You can fuck around and hurt yourself on a knee slide, kick in the corner flag and that. No. So I need him to start banging so he can do his original celebration, if indeed he came up with that himself. Eze will be on it against Crystal Palace because he knows what it means. Speak on it, AJ. I love it. Yeah, I think Eze will be Eze, bro. We beat these men when they had Eze and Olise. I think we beat them 5-0 or 6 or something away at their gaff. Now they got a 2-2 out of us last year at the Emirates, but who scored the goal? Mateta chip Mateta chip Raya from way out, and then Eze scored a fantastic half volley. But we have him now. We're gonna do to them what Declan did to West Ham when we went back there and bang one in from. And how crazy would it be if his first Premier League goal came against his former team? You can just hear Peter Drury now. With the commentary, because Peter Drury is a master with words. Like Peter Drury is our Dr. Seymour Butts. Whenever Dr. Seymour comes in a chat with those 10-syllable words that I struggle to read on the screen, Peter Drury is that guy. I couldn't wait for that commentary. Big up to Yaga P against the first time Oli can go down, and I really don't give a shit. Oh, Odegaard. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Do I think Eze plays in the 10 now? Yeah, he does. And Arteta tried his best. He tried his absolute best to fight that. So when Odegaard was fit, he put both of them on the pitch together. Do I think he does that in a big game against one of the big teams? No. I actually think, against one of the big teams, you would see Eze go out left and Odegaard in the middle with Zubimendi and Rice. Yep. I think he thinks. I think that's what he does. BX Gunner said that number 15 resembles a UCSS home kit from 506. I have it long sleeve. So that number 15 is for Reno United. It's the local team that I played for when I lived in North Carolina. And that was a going away gift that they gave me when I was moving to Germany in 2020, right before COVID. But yeah, it's Reno United. Bad boys. Bad boys. Big up to Guna SC. Love, bro. Hope you are good over there in Belgium. Lynch bigging up the assembled. Allison is the best goalkeeper in the world. The one thing, Allison gets injured every season. Yeah, he broke his back from carrying y'all, man. From carrying you all past embarrassment against Crystal Palace. Big up to Mark, said big up BBK. Odegaard out for a few weeks now. How do you see the lineup going forward? Strongest lineup, the back five, our big back five. It's Kepa, Calafiori, these center backs. Don't even need to mention them. From now on, that's how we refer to our center backs, bro. We got Timber, Calafiori, and these center backs. That's how we refer to our big boys now. Yeah. Midfield is going to be Zubimendi, Rice, Eze. Right wing, Saka, GYKORES, Trossard, or Martinelli. You'll see heavy rotation between those two. I think those two on the left-hand side will be as the game goes. Now, if Noni Madueke was fit, I actually think he plays as well. I think if Noni was fit, and Noni is scheduled to be back December at the latest. If he comes back before Odegaard, that will be midfield three. Eze, Rice, Zubimendi, front three, GYKORES, Madueke, Saka. That's what I think the front line, and I think that's enough to beat most teams. And you will see rotation packages between Noni, Martinelli, Trossard. So, for example, Noni, GYKORES, and Saka starts. Saka goes off. Nani doesn't go off. He goes to the right wing, and Trossard or Martinelli comes on to the left side. But that's the Nigerian hardback in him. Hey, I think Tony's a great debater. But here's the thing with me and Tony. I'm not gonna debate Tony in an issue that I don't feel strongly about. I'm not just gonna debate him to debate him. Right. So if he wants to debate me on, remember when we had the conversation over the summer when I was saying that GYKORES was the only addition to the squad. When I outlined the premise of additions, replacements, and depth. Like I made that clear to why I was saying what I was saying. And because he rated certain players and thought they were additions, and I'm like, no, this guy is a replacement for that guy. All right, Zubimendi was a replacement for Partey. He was an addition to our starting 11. Right, Mascara, Kepa, Norgard, all these men, even Nani, these men were depth signing, and that was before we signed Eze. So Eze and GYKORES were the only addition to our starting 11, and I wasn't going to back down from that. Will the U.S. do well in the World Cup? Let me be honest, Nems. I don't root for the U.S. men's national team. My national team is Jamaica. My allegiance when it comes to football on a national level is So I don't think they'll do great. To be fair, no. I think they'll actually, if they match up with any European teams and South American teams, they're in trouble. They get some draw like Gibraltar and San Marino and shit, they'll do well. But the minute they come up against a bad team, a good team, they're shit. Big up to Mateo. Big up, man. Hope you are good, bro. It's called a key pass. Yeah. The thing is though, key pass, when you go onto like FootMob, it doesn't even show key passes. All it shows is GA. Yeah. And when like performance-based contracts, and incentive-based contracts, when players are negotiating, it's usually games played, minutes played, blah, 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 goals or assists. Key passes is not something you can throw on the table and be like, hey, I've had the most key passes in the Premier League over the past 5 seasons. I need a pay raise. But you throw down, hey, I've scored the most goals in the past 10 games. I'm outperforming my contract. Give me a new one. But key passes are completely underrated. But yeah, big up to Sheldon. It's not coming home. It's an England accursed. So like for the people who follow England, yeah. If you find yourself in a semi-final or a final of the World Cup with Germany and you're facing Germany, right? And you have Thomas Tuchel, a German, coaching England in a final against Germany, where do you think his allegiance lie? Do you think he's wholeheartedly gonna use England to beat his fellow country? But then he can walk the streets of Leipzig or Berlin or Hamburg. Just throwing it out there. I can't see England winning the World Cup. I don't either. Big up to our brother Views. Big up Views. Condolences, my bro. Glad to have you back in these YouTube spaces. I know sometimes it's, you see man on screen doing their thing. Sometimes man can't be bothered to stream, but man like Views gets up and gives us content even when he's going through it. So big up to Views every single time. Make sure you all sending your prayers and well wishes to our brother Views on sport. Big up to Rasta Stocks. Manners and respect every single time. G, hope so you're good. Some more dap going on. Love it. Here for it. Off topic, what do you think about LeBron James' fake retirement announcement? People find it weak from him and childish. No, that wasn't LeBron. That was Hennessy. That was Hennessy all the way. If you're LeBron and Hennessy approach you, hey man, $10 million for a 30-minute for a 30-second commercial. You do those deals, I'm saying that could have been a Super Bowl commercial. But it's LeBron at this stage in his career, LeBron does whatever the hell he wants, and he's the unk, he's the OG. He's on the route Rushmore of of the goats. He sits there. Yeah, I don't. That's if you follow basketball religiously, that is not how LeBron James is going to handle his retirement announcement. He's not going to do the decision thing because he wants to get away from that. But when Hennessy and the money is right, hey, a 30-second commercial for a couple millions, cool. Cheers to the VSOP drinkers, for all the VSOP drinkers. The alcohol connoisseurs in the chat, VSOP, very special old pale. For those who don't know what VSOP means, it's fermented longer, tastes a little better, than the regular Hennessy. Some journals will call it. You said the S is superior, very superior old pale, or very special old pale. That's what VSOP stands for. That's the daily nugget from BBK Sports. I learned that from someone who drinks more than I do. Big up to Sweet Cherry. Good morning, BBK, and a wonderful chat room. So kind. You are far too kind. So thank you for that love. It's so early in the morning. Rasta starts getting his due. Some more due. Yeah, man. Favorite part of the show. Lynch, that's the bookies' money. They'll hype up England's chances, but when it comes down to it, the odds will be set to get guaranteed money, as the English will blindly back their players, says the assembled. I'm here for it. I actually want to see England do well, because we have some of our favorite players that line up for the English faithful. And as I go through the Arsenal roster, and I see that if Mascara gets a call up, that's the entire goddamn Arsenal squad going to the World Cup. We have a team full of internationals, and everybody would be going. Both our damn goalkeepers could possibly go. Calafiori is going. Skelly's going. The center backs, we know what that is. Timber's going. Zubimendi, Moreno, Odegaard, Eze. These are all internationals. Our entire midfield. GYKORES, no need to be said that he's going. Saka, Madueke, Trossard's going. Martinelli, the entire team. No guard, even the backups are going. So, the Arsenal sprinkle all over the World Cup will be mad this year. But I just, England, they're just like the Dallas Cowboys of the NFL. They'll get in their own way somehow. I don't know, man. Big up to Uncle Views, man. Big up to Hendon, our beloved Hendo Gooner in the building, always showing love, manners, and respect to you, my brother, every single time. Sheldon said, but as there was hours before anyone anyways. Yeah, facts. He comes home. Yeah, man. He comes home. The story is perfect. We just have to make it make sense now. We have to win. Yeah, it's the same way Top Gooners want to win through him. We want to win, but we want to win with Arteta. I just want to win. But imagine Eze scoring, the goal that wins us the FA Cup, the EFL Cup, the Champions League final, the Premier League. You talk about a redemption story. They would have to do a book deal and do a movie about this shit, and I'm here for it. Peter Drury is my favorite commentator, bro. He is a monster. And so it's going to sound crazy as someone who lives on this side of the world and doesn't speak with a British accent. Brother, I can't watch football when the Americans are commentating. I'm sorry. That damn Taylor Twellman commentary is horrible. It is horrible. I'd rather watch the shit on mute. But that damn Peter Drury, the Ian Darks of the world, them man know how to bring a football game to life. But Peter Drury, man, he's a monster, man. Big up, man. Darren getting some daps. Hendo says 6 weeks from now, Odegaard to recover, and you're looking at another few weeks to get him at full knee strength and match fit too. Hendo, that's facts. So as I go through my rehab, right? As I go through my rehab for my ACL surgery, I can walk fine. I feel strength in my leg. But when I go on the leg extender, I put 50 pounds on the right leg, and I'm doing it just like this, freely. I put 10 pounds on the left knee, and I'm struggling, bro. Can't get it to extend my leg. The strength around that, yeah, that's this statement, man. So damn true. Sometimes I really have to do the other leg to make sure that I'm not crazy. Like, man, I really can't lift 10 pounds with my damn knee, and I'm walking fine. But the extension, it's a whole nother set of muscles that they cut through, and those nerves take forever to regenerate, even with the best rehab. Canada always smoking fat Americans. That's most Americans, bro. I think it's 52%. 52% of the country is overweight. But the US has LeBron James of soccer. Christian, full of shit. Yeah, it's when you're starved, it's kind of like the Arsenal fan base. When you're starved, whenever we get a good player, we say he's world class immediately. Boom. Speaking of world class, shameless plug. Next Sunday, Shane Guna's channel, What Makes a World Class Player, on the Off Topic Show. Make sure you are tuned in for that. Not sure I'll be on there yet. But should I be invited? I got something to say. Yeah, but Pulisic was overhyped. The same way they overhyped Freddie Adu back in the day. Remember Freddie Adu was supposed to be the LeBron James of soccer before LeBron James was LeBron James. The Landon Donovans of the world, the his name was Clint Dempsey, who's made quite a few large number of Americans turn into Fulham fans. Big up to Ryan, that usually comes through here and watch. Big up to LFC Monster, second on the table, looking up, saying United coming to town, Santa Claus FC. You better not lose to them, man. Jamaica can be dark horses. Appreciate that chuckle. Appreciate that chuckle there, Nems. Definitely the German. No way Tuchel would win. He'd throw it. I'm not going to say it out loud, Mateo, but I'm saying if man wants to be able to walk the streets of Germany, because it's the English fans that sing 2 World Wars and no World Cup. Yeah. So I'm just saying, the spectacle of it. And I don't think any reporter would ask that question. They'd be too scared with, nationalism and being impolite to ask, hey, where does your allegiance lie? With your homeland, with the blonde-haired, blue-eyed people, or the FA in England that pays you, that's going to sack you in a couple of years anyway, because you'll be the English manager for a temporary time. You're permanently German. I don't know if I'd want. I don't know. It's a tricky one, but I'm just saying. I'm gonna throw it out there. His allegiance lies with his bank account. Because, well, that's a good point. Because surely, if the the contract that he signs, if it's incentivized, hey, you win the World Cup, you get X amount, XYZ, then hey, the hell with that. He doesn't have to go back there. A man of his profile and his resources, he doesn't have to step foot back in damn Germany. I'll follow the Netherlands for now. But now you might be Belgium next week, Nems, where we know bench players. We improved the bench. If Havertz was fit, GYKORES would be an impact sub. Remember, Havertz bulked up. Now, this young man finds excuses to keep playing the same 11. So you see the thumbnail they assembled. The rumors has had it that we knew that Havertz was touching grass. And I've said, GYKORES is scoreless in 5 or 6 games. Brother, you can't go another 5 or 6 games scoreless. Not while you got the manager's favorite getting back into shape. Because then we have to keep the energy consistent. The out-of-form players must come out the firing line. But then people on the other side of the court are going to say, yo, brother, no, we want to see GYKORES given the same run of games that Havertz got, 50-something games, whatever, to see how much he can produce. But, yeah, we improved the bench. But I definitely agree that I was very nervous about the lineup against Bilbao, because if Havertz's name was on that damn team sheet to start that game, Or if Gyökeres started and did not score that fantastic header, Havertz would have been leading us out against Man United. Wasn't Matt Busby a Scouser? I think he was, yeah. But I get your point there, LFC Monster. I fully point taken. LeBron with another useless circus attraction. Trash. Mateo is a fan of LBJ. Okay. No dunk contest, no Rucker Park, no balls. Yeah, he can't do Rucker Park. He's just not that dude, isn't it? Like Rucker Park, the handles that those guys have are a different level. They'll probably embarrass him out there. Ushered in the vagina era of the NBA, softer than a baby's ass. So BX Gunner, you know what I tell people when they say that LeBron is the GOAT? I tell them, go find me a compilation of Mike flopping. Matter of fact, not even a compilation. Just show me one clip of Mike blatantly flopping up on contact, because I can give you a compilation of LeBron James flop. That's one of the reasons why. One of the many reasons that takes him outside the GOAT conversation for me. Kobe got 2-piece by Chris Charles that stepped up his hand skills for LeBron would never. Yeah, you remember that, did you? Yeah, I remember that. Chris Charles, Charlie Ward, Knicks. Yeah, Chris Charles wasn't having it. That's why we got to win the EPL this year. People going to the World Cup will be finished next season. That's a great point. That's a great point made by my bro Waffle Down. Yeah, we have to. Not only do we need to win it because the players are going to be finished, we're leaving the stadium next year, right? We're leaving the home. We're leaving the Emirates to go to Wembley. So, I think it would mean something if we went to Wembley as Premier League champions. Because then, if we don't win it next year's excuse will be, hey, we're not playing at our home turf. Big up to G Money, man, like Garrett from Don't Waste the Trip. Why doesn't Wright celebrate against West Ham? It's annoying. Because he has a soft spot for him. I think over the next couple, maybe another season or two, you'll see the celebrations kind of ramp up a little bit. Because when he scored that banger at the London Stadium, it was hands up, look down, nothing. This one, when he scored, it was kind of, the hands didn't go up, but he didn't celebrate. Next time, you will see, a little more once the vim goes out of it. I think once the team completely changes over, because some of the players that are on the West Ham team right now are players that he actually played with and won that trophy with. So I think once those players are gone and it's a completely different team and he scores against them, you'll see nothing. I'm going to bang it in. And I'm going to do a knee slide, especially if it's at the Emirates or Wembley, our new home, away from home. Very special Old Pale, age 2 years. Very superior Old Pale, age 4 years. Age, get it right. They're not the same. Oh, shit. Hey. See? What I said at the beginning of the stream. Every day, I learned something from you, man. And I wasn't talking about football. Very special is age 2 years. Very superior Old Pale, age 4 years. Get it right, bro. They're not the same. As told to me by Sheldon, drunk ass. Old Roman. Hey, yeah. So, hey, big up, bro. Big up that nugget. So we all will take from that. Yeah, VSOP. At least I know what it meant. But yeah, man, I appreciate that clarification. Alki. Iverson has more heart than one hip than Braun. In one hip than Braun, he has every ounce of fight. Brother, yeah. Iverson was that dude, man. Yeah. Just watch how other NBA players talk about him, how they talk about Mike, and how they talk about LeBron. The subliminals are there. Yeah, more international players for Arsenal, the more money they going through the tills will win-win for Arsenal. I hear it. 21 likes. Thank you all, people. Very, 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 very kind of you all. Greatly appreciated. Pulisic has done very well. Can't talk shit about American that's cooking in Europe, let alone the best player in Serie A. I was kind of hoping that he would do well in the Prem for the reason to raise the profile that but good player, but they did too much with him. They kind of overhyped him. The thing with Serie A is that if you go cook in Serie A and say you're the best player in Serie A, it doesn't carry as much weight as it did back in the day. Because we've seen Lukaku go to the Serie A and be the best striker and come to the Prem and shit the place all over. Right? And we see players leave the Prem who struggled and go to Serie A and bang. Pulisic, McTominay, and Gisa. Quite a few of them. There's a reason why players go to that league and play till they're damn near 60. Zlatan could be still playing right now. Lewandowski being cut by Barcelona. His first linked club away from Barcelona at 37 years old. Take a wild guess? Yep. AC. Now, part of that is money issue and all that, but there's a reason why, AC Milan has become like retirement home FC. Where man can leave the MLS and go to AC and still play at a high level, yeah. But yeah, the level of Serie A in the 90s, Serie A was the league. It was like a rite of passage to play in that league. Whereas Freddie Adu now, the same with Danny. Yeah, brother. He was supposed to be the next Wayne Rooney. I think he plays non-league. He was overhyped. He was not, because he could do juggles and keeping ups and flick the ball and catch it in the back of his neck and all that. People think that's football. Like, how many of you, man, right, have gone to play, just go play a football. That's a regular kickoff. A day out Sunday, right? Saturday weekend, you go play ball, nighttime, whatever. And you don't know these men. It's your first time playing with them, right? And you see that one dude that's doing mad tricks. He's flicking the ball and touching the ground. He's 50 straight, 60 straight. He's pinging it all over the park. And you think he can play. So you pick him on your team. And then the game starts and you're like, oh, shit. This boy got 2 left feet. Him no good. But during the warm-ups, he was doing all the flicks and all the tricks. That's Freddie Adu. Playing football is completely different than just doing juggling and keeping up. Yeah. Freddie Adu, the American Pele. Yeah, we know what the type of Freddie Adu. Yeah, brother. He was World Cup. Yeah, well, they bagged another one in what was that, 2014? So yeah, they rated Freddie on par. The American version. They didn't out and out call him that, but yeah, he was overhyped. And you think they would learn it? You think they would learn their lesson with Pulisic? Well, they overhyped him too. And the fact that the US missed out on the 2018 World Cup. Was it the 2018? Whenever they lost to Trinidad, I don't know if that was 2018 or the 2022 World Cup. The US didn't make it. And so Pulisic actually wasted 4 years on the international stage because he did not get to perform at that level. He's prone to change. Yeah. Nem said he supports the Dutch. Nem's gonna celebrate Belgium next week. Or Nems can represent Germany. Right? The German flag and the Belgian flag is the same color, the same colors. It's just rotated. I think the Belgian one is they're vertical, and the German flag they're horizontal. Same colors, they just flip them. So that's what Nems is gonna do. Nems is gonna be either Belgium, and when Belgium are not doing well, and Germany are, he just rotates. Big up to Lynch for the super chat. Say, keep up the good work, BBK. You're a natural. Come on, you Gunners. Big up to Lynch, man. Love, man. Manners and respect every single time. I don't care. This is why I don't let anyone come over here and disrespect this community, because this community is absolutely legendary. So we're Lickle, but we're Talawa. We're not the biggest, but we have a fantastic football discussion every single time I hop on here. Freddie's been contracted to wear the U.S. men's national team costume. What the fuck? You're making that up, right, BX Gunner? There's no way. Did all of Liverpool Dutch players come through the unscathed from the international match? Nah, they sent Gravenberch home. No, they didn't send him home. He got pulled. It's an injury scare that I read this morning that what's his name? That Gravenberch got hooked because he felt something. That's dark arts, people. That's nothing. Slot, sent Coleman a text, be like, bro, we got Man United turning up at Anfield. I'm 0 for 3. My best midfielder. Send him home now. I follow England. Boosh. Can't wait to lose on penalties again. As long as Saka's not the one that missed. Let Harry Kane kick that shit over the bar. Did anyone see the Masters football series? Liverpool team had Pennant, John, Welsh, Lambert, Flanagan, Westerfield, Martin. Oh, damn. Okay, if you can drop the link for that, if there's a link for the LFC Master, if it's on YouTube, I'll check it out. You gotta let them talk, but it's true. No one in here is lying on them. Why GYKORES not firing? I'm prepared to wait on him. Bring back Kai and let GYKORES learn. Okay. Hey, Sheldon ain't taking no prisoners, Michael Jordan the GOAT, but everybody said he's a bad person at DK. They said he was a bad teammate at the time when he used to hold teammates accountable. Like, he probably couldn't play in this era, because you can't hold your teammates accountable. If you hold your teammates accountable now the way Michael did, they'll do an Instagram post about it. And then it would seep into the locker room and that. Grav apparently got an hamstring issue, but nothing confirmed yet. Rest and okay. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that boy. That's a Dutchman doing a Dutchman a solid with another Dutchman. So Koeman, Slot, Grav. They know what they're doing. There's some dark arts at play there. Mateo Nems claimed to be an Arsenal fan for months, then changed to Liverpool. They're the full truth. Never say I don't care what they think. Hey, fair enough. No one's gonna be rude and explicit to you. We don't do that here, but we will call you out when we see that you went from NEMS AFC to NEMS LFC. Big up the LFC Monster every time. Oh, okay. Vigilante. Say the same thing. Sheldon say we can't go to Wembley through games. We have to move there through other means. It's not a good look. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Wembley thing, but if it has to happen, it's going to happen, isn't it? Once we hear about it, those decisions have already been made. Jordan's an asshole and a dick in real life. It's not true. As far as a player, he's the best. Don't approach Jordan Weir. And if Jordan Weir you're dismissed. Yeah, we separate the man from the basketball because it's not like we know homie on a personal level. We know you on the basketball court, right? Just like when Rashford used to feed kids in Manchester, and people look at it, but okay, we like you for your philanthropy, your charity work, but we know who you are because of football, right? We want to see you play football, and when you go on the football field, it's just not working, bro. So we separate the craziness from what we know people for. I mean, your favorite rappers or your favorite singers, they may not be great people, but it is what it is. BX Gunner says, to be honest, I hate to put it to Chelsea because he was always capable of being dangerous. I still think we won the final because Pulisic went out injured. Or the FA Cup. Yeah, he did go out injured for that one. I just don't think Lampard rated him highly, man. Because he was under the Lamp era when he couldn't get a game in. He would come out and say, I'm fit, and manager's just not picking him. I think he scored a hat-trick for Chelsea one time as well. And then everyone thought he was going to kick on, and then it just didn't happen. The last 4 years seen a Serie A resurgence, in my opinion, right after Italy won the Euros. Yeah, fair. And plus, they just had what? They just had a Champions League final appearance, a Serie A team. that Milan versus Barcelona match with a modern day classic. You know, it's but the standard of Serie A back in the day, man, it was just different, bro. You know, they tried to hype him like he was Ronaldinho in the same era. Americans didn't know any better. Yeah, once ESPN Sports Center gets a hold of it, then it's mainstream. It's casuals. They don't know the ins and out of the game, and it's yeah, it was always destined for the rest of the world to say, "We told you so." Yeah. Yeah. If they didn't come off, I think we would have won it either. That's luck this manager has, and that's the thing. This is why I like about getting to finals because no one remembers that. They just remember that hey, we won the FA Cup. Like no one remembers that Man United almost got knocked out the FA Cup to Coventry or the EFL Cup, whichever one. I think it was the FA Cup by offsides, but they won it. So when I talk to the top gooners or the ultra positives, and I tell them like, bro, if we were consistently getting to finals, the energy around the fan base would be different because I think we would have won one of them. Because who could have controlled that Pulisic injury? Now we could be on the wrong end of some of those injuries. We could get to a final and then Saka got to go off, or Gabriel or Saliba. But we're not getting to those finals, so we can't win. Adidas American branch ran it hard, yeah, and that's another part of it too. BL's gonna, the sponsorship piece definitely has a massive part to play in the pushing all these players that they hype up, because you notice Gio Reyna never got any of this hype. You look at the pipeline and you don't even see the next big thing in American soccer, so to speak. If I say American football, people will think NFL, but you can look in the Spanish Federation and you see Gavi and Pedri, right? You look in the German Federation and you see Wirtz, and you could have seen Ozil and Mueller and all these men way back in the day. You could see the next big, right? You look at you don't even have to look in the pipeline for the French team. Their talent is all over the leagues. Every other league, there's a French international. There is none of that for the Americans. So after this World Cup, after the U.S. tanks out of this one, it could be long. I reckon all hosting nations will do well in the World Cup. If by doing well you mean getting to the knockout rounds, yeah. But I think this U.S. team comes up against any of the big boys in Europe is going to be a long one. Big up to Rambo Kanamba. Manners and respect. Yeah, it's not that deep, but you do deserve banter. Yeah, bro. Just like Arsenal get bantered for finishing second. We're a good team. That's why we're upset at the manager, because we're a good team and not winning. So it's banter, bro. No one's gonna be nasty to you. I won't allow it. And these people, we're just not built that way. But you will get banter. Do you think we should sign Timber's brother Quinton? No. I think if we're gonna sign a midfielder, it's got to be Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, or someone of that quality. I think the club would love to do this because Arsenal love APR. But Quinton Timber is, from what I see, what I read, from how he plays, is a midfielder. I'd rather us get a midfielder of Vitinha or Fabian Ruiz's level. It would be if he comes though, it's cool, because then if Timber gets a red card, they just switch number and then go play him. No one will know. Yeah. Why can't we be friends? Lynch, I would have signed him in the summer. Would be a brilliant addition to the midfield. Fair play. Real bad man. If you know, you know it. 23 by 22. Desmond Valentine, Mr. Ninja Man. PX Gunner is on smoke today, I tell you, I say, guys, I think I will change my name to Mateus CFC in honor of Neves. Oh my days, you men are crazy, you know. You men are crazy. Oh my days. Uh, because of your unrighteousness, Liverpool are losing the league this season. Listen, if they lose to Man United, you know, if they lose to Man United, like the LFC Monster and Chris Weston, them men are gonna rebuke them, you know. I would say Mr. Batter, but we haven't seen Mr. Batter in a long time. I don't know what. You know, 5 for 5, we saw Mr. Batter every morning, faithfully, every evening, every night. But Mr. Batter, if you're out there, you know, you can probably change your name, change your YouTube handle, and pop back into the stream, my brother. We still got love for Liverpool. Uh, we still got love for Liverpool, my bro. We're not doing that. Do you know who's won the World Cup a record most from the most shots and didn't score? Do you know who has the World Cup record for the most shots and didn't score? I don't know. Time because I started watching the World Cup in 1990. Yeah, so yeah, I have no idea. The assembled none. You didn't want to take a wild guess. You know, guys, I like Doritos drinks, but the Allura and the red one, BS dies. It sucks. Top Gooners, but not because they support Arsenal. I hear it. Quentin will be on our bench. Yeah, but I think see right now, I'm more about improving the first 11. So, for example, if we had Vitina or Fabian Ruiz instead of Marino, then I'll be okay with strengthening the bench. But right now, I think the starting 11 could use some work. Football gods are angry with Neves. Arsenal were in for Ruiz, but decided Marino was better deal. That's crazy. Because when you watch Spain play, you know, he's the engine for him. And even when you watch PSG play, even though Vitina runs all over the place, Fabian Ruiz is like their version of Tony Cruz. You know, he just be spraying passes all over the pitch, keep things ticking. He's strong on the ball. You know, he can defend, he can sit, he can in the attacking third. His passes are line breaking. Yeah, he's I think we would have been much better with him in the midfield. I hate United, but come on, United. Yeah, I'll take a 1-1. I'll take a 2-2, you know. I'll take that. And for me, it's bittersweet that Liverpool are losing like that. I hate my father, who passed away in June, was a Liverpool fan. His whole life was his first title he got to see in the UK. Oh, wow. Yeah. Condolences to you losing your pops, Vigilante. But yeah, you know, if over the next, I'd love to see Arsenal dominate over the next 5 years and win all 5 Premier League titles. But if over the next 5 years we pick up 3 of them and Liverpool pick up 2 of them, cool, you know. Whatever, you know, everyone's happy. We're picking up a trophy here, but we have to be in the mix of winning shit. You know, can't just have one team dominating and just can't have that, man. But big boost, Lampard for one tournament. Oh, okay. Wow, most shots and did not score. Wow, yeah, that's a good. I was gonna guess Miroslav Klose. That's what I was gonna guess, because he had the record scoring for a long time. Him and Ronaldo. I don't know who has it now, but to score that many goals, you know, I usually assume that you miss a lot as well. But yeah, appreciate that, Mr. The Assembled. Now, people, you see the thumbnail. It took me over damn hour and 50 minutes to get to the thumbnail of rumor has it that King Kai, Donkey Kai, should roll back up and take the starting job from GYKORES should he go scoreless. Now, some of you astute football connoisseurs already alluded to that in the chat when you said, give him this many games, give him that many games. But I do think it's going to happen, especially even if GYKORES bangs in his next couple of games. I think when havertz comes back, GYKORES will get rotated and or bench. because of overload, minutes played, and to save him for the fixture congestion over the December period. Because after we get through November, the next international break, we will have Tottenham, Bayern, Chelsea back to back to back. That will be a critical period. Close the rec. Okay, fair. Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, score a lot of goals, miss a lot of goals. And the Germans, the way they play football. I think 1 year they didn't even have like an out and out striker in a tournament. They played like a 4-6, 4 defenders, 6 midfielders, and just pass the ball into the net. Because you remember that Brazil game, the 7-1. Was it the 7-1 against Brazil in Brazil? They passed the ball in the net 7 times. There wasn't any screamers, and man just literally passed the ball around the Brazilian faithful. Pass, goal, pass. We're gonna pass you to death. And this last tournament, we see Spain pass themselves out the tournament. The game was like a record for passes. Had like 700 passes and lost the game. But yeah, the World Cup. I'm very excited because I'm actually going to be immersed in it for the first time since 2006. When I was in Germany. So hey, I'm here for it. Don't expect Havertz to hit the ground running either. Going to take him a while to get up to mad speed. Yeah. So when he starts, and then the manager and he's having stinkers, the manager will call for patience. But why don't we give Yuck that patience? Because I do believe when Havertz comes back, you won't see a midfield of Moreno, Rice, and Zubimendi play behind Havertz. It will have creativity behind him in Eze. So I wanted to see Eze. I wanted to see GYKORES get a run of games with creativity behind him. Because we saw how dangerous he can be, in the Bilbao, against Olympiacos. Man, Germany was crazy. Ozil, Cruz, Müller, Schweinsteiger, Kedra, Lam. Yeah. I think Emre Can was in that side as well. The Germans never have a shortage of up and coming talent. Yeah. Because the way they operate, there's always a pipeline. It's like a factory. Have a damn factory of fantastic talent. I think France win it. France has a big shout, big shout. Mateo said Podolski was lethal with that left foot. Yeah. Oh, Lucas. Bad boy left foot. Bad boy footballer. Can't hate on him one bit. I'm here for it. But, if Arteta decides to pull GYKORES out, put Havertz in, he better bang. Because, from the fans, you're going to have the same pressure to perform. When one striker comes out, another striker comes in and is going to press you. With could you imagine if neither of them start to bang, even with the creativity behind them? Then what's going to happen is, if GYKORES doesn't bang, right, this is what's going to happen. The top gooners who all wanted Sesko would point to us and say, see, you don't know ball because Arteta didn't want GYKORES. He wanted Sesko, and this because Sesko is the better player, this and that. And especially now that Sesko is actually starting to find some form. That's what they'll do. But I'm not buying that, and I'm not going to fall for that. You know why? Because I think with Eze and GYKORES in the team, and if the team does not improve and start banging, that actually exposes the manager. And this is what we said that was going to happen. This is literally what we said was going to happen. Give him all these players. How is it that you can have a player who knows where the net is, scored almost 100 goals over the past season, 2 seasons, and he comes to you and flatlines? Or Eze, who's been the creative spark, for Crystal Palace, been the leader of that team, Premier League ready, played at the highest level in the Prem, come to you and looks like a shell of himself. You're the common denominator, because they perform for every other manager in every other system, and they come to you and then they can't perform. I don't think that's we didn't know ball. Sesko is the better player. I think all fingers point to you can coach them. Because I guarantee you, if Oliver Glasner comes to Arsenal and manages Eze, you'll see Eze bang. Bang, bang, bang. Sesko wouldn't be doing a thing either in this. Facts. Absolute facts. I hear it. I'm here for it. Now, yes, people. Hour and 20 minutes, and it felt like 20 minutes talking to you lovely folks. Absolute gems you are. But it's Monday. It's a holiday in these United States. So it's a family day. I wasn't even supposed to stream today. So I'm going to hop off of here, people, and go do some holiday stuff once the sun comes out a little brighter and the temperature rises. Yeah. What we say, Kai's the man in the manager's eyes. The trophies will be in the dividing line. He's smartered himself. Trophies are out. Hey, I'm here for it, man. And if he knows that he has no excuses this season, then you might as well go out guns blazing. And there's no need to play conservative football. So again, I talked to myself again now. Man, I'm sure there's someone has to be live. Someone has to be live. Let me look across the spectrum and see who is live right now. Because it's international break. Not a lot of people are doing content. Because some people need panels to talk football. I love panel shows. Panel shows are great, but not everyone can sit and just yap about football all the day. But it's cool. It's calm. Yeah, I don't see anybody live, Mateo. Not anybody that I watch anyway. But yeah, man, guns blazing, go down. But Mateo, big up, Nems, AJ, my mod, the assembled. Appreciate every single one of you chiming in, contributing to the conversation today. It's been a lovely chat. Big up to Lynch, BX Gunner, all you, man, Vigilante. Big up on the Bumbuckler. So injuries from January are going to be interesting. It's funny how you say that, because I said this to Waffle Don a while back. Okay, got you. Send me a message on Insta, AJ. I said this to Waffle Don. I said, with the injuries happening now, if the silver lining is if we can lose a couple of guys now, get them back to fitness in December, January, and they're fit for the April, May run-in, then I can, that's the risk I'm willing to take, and I'm okay with that. Now, the teams who are fully healthy now, when they pick up injuries in January, February, advantage us, because we will be having players coming back. But that's a great point. That is a great point. But I'll end it there, people. Don't like to bore you to death with these long 2-hour streams, so I try to keep them under an hour. That couldn't happen today. You men have been on point. So maybe I'm just going to start doing an hour and a half. But even with that, people, love for the love. Thank you for your support. As always, like I always say, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.